like it. You're welcome to join me, I promise I won't bite.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through. Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me.
And sunny, and we're ready to take this baseball game into the night. Clear Fork Colts versus the Lexington Minutemen. A lot of great baseball action coming your way. Bob and Bob Door Company pregame show coming up next.
Get on the right track with me, Hayden Gray, as I pass you the baton for local track and field meet results, impact teams, athlete profiles, and more every Thursday this spring.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
I was gonna let it be. Is there any way we could move this too? I guarantee you don't trip over it.
Tyler. Our breakfast.
Oh.
If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for the best defensive plays on the baseball field and the softball diamond? Well, join me, Big League Berardi, for Diamond Cuts exclusively on the Roundup.
The OH Report, bringing you the Bob and Bob Door Company pregame show. First, we're taking a team spotlight at Lexington Minutemen. The Lexington Minutemen this season, 8-12 on the season. They're 4-7 in the Ohio Cardinal Conference. Overall batting this year, they're batting .269 batting average and a .360 on base percentage with 19 doubles and a home run to their name. They're pitching a 4.29 ERA with 70 strikeouts and a .277 batting average against, and not a single home run against them all season. Next, we're going to look at the keys to victory. For Lexington's key to victory is going to be keep a clean defensive score sheet. This is a really good Clear Fork team. You really can't afford even one or two mistakes because they will continue to pile it on and on. They're effective at moving runners over in the positions, and they're also effective at hitting them in. And then, of course, consistent hit chains. That's what makes a great hitting team. We've seen teams who can hit the ball, they can hit the ball sporadically, but it's really the teams who can channel them and chain them together to get the hits and get the runs that they need to establish that lead early on. Now we're going to look at a player spotlight. We've got Michael Togliatti, affectionately called Michael Togs by his teammates. This year he's batting a .393 batting average with a .469 on base percentage and speedy with 10 stolen bases and 5 walks. So let's take a look at Lexington's lineup now. First up for the Minutemen, we have the roster here is Mitch Rigel, Chance Balasone, Landon Hamilton, Zion Rhodes, Michael Togliatti, Carter Wilson, Levi Davis, Donovan Legrand, Braden Mumaw, Cooper Dreebledis, Markale Martin, Aiden Nicole, Jack Wyatt, and Colton Murfield. We're going to take a break. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for your baseball or softball fix? Well, you've come to the right place. Join me every Wednesday night during the regular season for the best plays, conference updates, schedules, and so much more on the Roundup with me.
Oh, this might be an alumni game. Bryce Coder with the OH Report here in Bellville, Ohio, catching this game between the Lexington Minutemen and the Clear Fork Colts. We're watching a ceremonial first pitch from the very first Clear Fork team, the very first Clear Fork team to win a game, and the very first Clear Fork team to throw a no-hitter as well. So they will throw out the ceremonial first pitch. They've got all 9 members with them. First pitch is in. A called strike, says the umpire. All right, Bob and Bob Door Company, the second half of this pregame show. We're going to take a look at the Clear Fork Colts this season. They're having a magical season, 15-3 under Coach Gabe Kennedy, 10-2 in the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference, batting .304 as a team and a .401 on-base percentage, and speedy with 55 stolen bases and only 8 caught stealing, being aggressive and getting those RBIs with those runners in scoring position. On the pitching side, they're pitching a 1.7 ERA and 8 strikeouts per 7 innings, over a strikeout per inning that they pitch. 133 strikeouts on the season, only 28 earned runs all year. Next, we're going to look at Clear Fork's keys to victory. For Clear Fork, it's going to be play your brand of baseball. You like to get runners in scoring position by having aggressive runners on the base pads. Once you do get those hits, that's exactly what you need to do. Drive in those RBIs and hits early and often. You really need to establish yourself early in this game. Don't allow this one to become a nail biter, because it can very quickly if you're not careful. We're going to take a look at Clear Fork's lineup and roster here. The team roster, we have Jay Jackson, Luke Drockton, Luke Schlosser, Caden Riddle, Garrett Hotz, Casey Swank, Chandler Ball, Nate Lind, Ty Sellers, Mason Sansom, Dawson Staley, Champ Delancey, Casey Swank, Aiden Perry, and Sawyer Bailey. We're getting ready for the first pitch of this ball game. We're getting our very first look here of Chandler Ball. 2-1 on the season with a 3.06 ERA, 27 strikeouts. He's getting 10 strikeouts per 7 innings that he's pitching. Very efficient, pitching the ball well here in this warm-up. But we're going to see Zion Rhodes up bat first for the Minutemen. As he strides in for the first pitch of this ball game. And a quick meeting with the infield. We're getting ready to play baseball. We're already here in this dugout. The energy from this team. And Ball out of the windup. The first pitch to Rhodes is a called strike high in the zone. So establishing that early dominance in the count is so essential at this level. And the second pitch is swung on and missed. So 0-2 the count now. So we'll see the first payoff pitch of the night. Ball's 0-2 to Rhodes, is fouled back. Fastball hit into the backstop, so another 0-2 count. And Ball resets. The second 0-2 of this at-bat is a breaking pitch. Ball got in between the catcher's legs, bounced away, nobody on. So 1-2 the count now. We're getting a look at this dugout here. The Lexington Minutemen. You can hear the excitement already. So the 1-2 is a ball off the outside corner of that zone. So 2-2. Rhodes doing a good job of staying in this count and working it even. Ball's 2-2. is low and behind the catcher. So after going up 0-2 for 2 straight pitches, the count is worked back to full with no outs. So a full count to leadoff batter Zion Rhodes. Chandler collects. And the pitch is a called third strike. The outside part of the plate, dropped third strike, but tags him for the first out of this inning. And so a strikeout for Chandler Ball, the first one of this ball game and the very first batter that he faced. So that'll bring up Chance Basilone, another high strike right on the letters. So Chandler Ball 0-1. So he'll dig in out of the windup. The pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, a called strike, so another 0-2 count. Shakes one off. He likes this pitch. The 0-2 is a breaking pitch. He's ahead of that one, hits it down the third base line, foul. So another 0-2 pitch, just like we saw in the last at-bat, but this time with one out. I'm sure Ball knows that he has to really establish himself with this AB after losing the batter 3-2, but eventually getting that strikeout. The 0-2 pitch is off the plate outside for a ball, so 1-2 the count. So Basilone's going to set. Ball's pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So 2 strikeouts now in this inning for Chandler Ball. That's going to bring up Brown out of the 3-hole. Trying to avoid the 3 strikeout inning. That one, a slow pitch. Lunged at that one, but ultimately decided not to swing and called for a strike. 0-1 the count. So the pitch from Ball is low and inside, has to scoot out of the way of it. So 1-1 the count. Now the pitch is fouled off way out in front there, likely guessing fastball. So 1-2 is another payoff pitch. Ball looking for the 3rd strikeout of this first inning. And the big pitch. The 1-2 is hit hard to right center field. Right fielder making his way to the left to get to that one. Likely only going to be a base hit. A well-hit ball. Hard line drive to the gap. So that'll be a base hit for Brown. So that's going to bring up Braden Moomaw. So Ball out of the stretch, a pickoff move, not in time. Jackson Brown able to stay on his feet for that pickoff move. So Ball will check the runner, left-handed pitcher. That one, a check swing behind the catcher. That's going to advance Brown over to second base. I believe the umpire said no, he did not. So 1-0 the count. And now with a runner in scoring position, this inning could go from good to bad. That pitch outside, falling behind in the count, 2-0. So Jackson Brown extends his lead over at second base. Shortstop creeping behind him. Ball not checking the runner. Now he does. Kicks and deals. Oh, the pickoff move over to second base. Almost no one covering. Able to get back by a step. Second baseman calling something over to the pitcher. Some sort of gesture on his jersey. So Brown will take his lead. Another 2-0 pitch from Ball into Mumal. That one high for a ball. So 3-0 the count. So after establishing 2-0 leads in the first several batters that we've seen in the top half of this first inning, Ball has fallen behind 3-0 in the count with a runner in scoring position on second and 2 outs. So looking to get himself out of this jam. Ball 4, so a runner will be over at first and second now. This is going to bring up Nickel, the designated hitter. So maybe Ball sensing danger there. Calming himself down with a runner in scoring position. Also a runner on first base. 2 outs. Play at any base will get him. The first pitch to Nickel is swung on and missed way out in front. So modest leads over at second and first as they extend. Ball out of the stretch, checks the runner twice. Batter calls for time, and so we'll have a reset here as Ball steps off. He's back on the rubber. Those runners getting their leads roughly 5 feet on either side, extending into 7. Ball checks the runner, kicks and deals. That's a ball. That one's also behind the catcher, so both of the runners are going to move over into scoring position. And it seems like this inning is getting more and more dangerous for the Colts. As we go on pitch by pitch, so 1-0 the count. Runner on second and third. They just need that out over at first base to avoid any damage. So that pitch is high. That one pops out of the catcher's glove. So 2-0 the count. So that pitch to Nickel is low. 3-0. Back-to-back 3-0 counts after going up 0-2 on 3 consecutive batters. He risks walking the bases full with 2 outs. Ball avoiding to do that on this pitch. A low strike. Looked at, likely holding up. So this pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, the third out of this inning, as the Minutemen are going to strand 2 on base. You're watching high school baseball live and free on the OH Report. Bryce Coder with the OH Report, bringing you bottom of one here in Bellville, Ohio. Clear Fork Colts taking on the Lexington Minutemen. The Minutemen able to get 2 runners in scoring position, but Chandler Ball and the Colts able to salvage that inning with no damage done. So 0-0 in the bottom of the first. We're getting our first look at Dreibelbis. Cooper Dreibelbis. It's going to bring up Jay Jackson, the first hitter for the Colts. Dreibelbis gives his salute at the mound. So Dreibelbis out of the windup. The first pitch is a hard fastball in for a called strike. So Dreibelbis, the 0-1. This one hit to the second baseman. He takes 2 steps to his right and throws it over to first base for the first out of this inning. So a 2-pitch out. This is going to bring up Dawson Staley. So Dawson Staley, the 2-hitter. Dreibelbis able to get that 2-pitch out to lead off this inning. That pitch, a fastball high for a ball. 1-0 the count. So the second pitch is low and inside. 2-0 the count. Dreibelbis delivers the 2-0. That one's outside. So 3-0 the count. We'll see if he's taking this pitch from the start. And he does not. It's ball 4. So a quick walk, the second batter of this inning. Lexington talking amongst each other, strategizing. Runner on first base. The middle infielders making their way towards double play depth. Dreibelbis, the first time out of the stretch tonight, the pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. A quick pickoff move. Not in time. Dreibelbis hadn't stepped on the rubber yet. He was trying to catch the runner napping with that early lead. And a balk called. So that's going to move Dawson Staley over to second base. So Dreibelbis, a little bit of adversity here. We'll see how he works through this with a runner in scoring position. A runner on second. This one hit hard to the shortstop, moving to his right. Flips it over to first base. Runner not moving over to third. So we'll have 2 outs in this inning and a runner on second base. So this is going to bring up Caden Riddle. Riddle pitching excellently this season. Batting out of the 3-hole on the offensive side. This first pitch to Riddle is hit to the second baseman. It's by him on a diving try, so the runner's going to score all the way from second base. Likely no, a play at the plate. Got him just in time. Forgive me. A great throw from right field into home plate to get the 3rd out of this inning. 0-0. You're watching high school baseball live and free on the OH Report.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Taking my time, on my mind, baby.
Tyler,
Ah,
our breakfast.
oh.
If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Bryce Coder with the OH report coming to you for top of two here in Bellville, Ohio, between the Clear Fork Colts and the Lexington Minutemen. Both teams in the first inning getting into a bit of trouble defensively, but able to work themselves out of the jam and get big third outs. It's going to bring up Markale Martin. Chandler Ball on the mound still out of the windup. That one a hard swing, but missed. 0-1 the count. Trying to get every little bit of that ball. So 0-1 the count. That one low and outside, 1-1. Ball struggling and doing well in that last inning that we saw, getting 2 big strikeouts, eventually striking out 3 in the inning, so 1 and 2 that went in right down the middle. So starting off this inning well, ahead in the count. The 1-2 from Ball to Martin is swung on. He's still a bit out in front, drove it back foul. So we'll have another payoff pitch to Martin. See that sliding mitt, you know he's trying to get on base. That one high, takes a quarter swing at it, but manages to hold back, all even at 2. So Ball shakes one off, agrees to this one. The off-speed pitch fouled back. So extending this inning, extending this at bat, even more pitches. Shook off 2, likes 1. That one low. Catcher has trouble with it, bounces in front. 3-2. So already that pitch count starting to get up there in the second inning. It's the 3rd full count we've seen so far. That one's low, ball 4. So Markale Martin will make his way over to first base. It's going to bring up the pitcher, dribble this. So Ball coming out of the windup. Martin has that sliding mid on. He's getting that lead. Ball doesn't even check the runner, but throws over the pickoff move anyway. Martin able to get back with the dive. So nobody out, a runner on first. Into fresh count to Hamilton. Or dribble this, I'm sorry. So Martin takes his lead. Ball takes a breath, throws a fastball. That one fouled back, hits the umpire right in the chest protector off that foul ball. Took that one a lot better than I would have. 0-1 the count. So they take a second to check on the umpire, but he's all right. Ball coming out of the windup. The 0-1 showing bunt at the plate, but calls time. The batter saying the pitcher taking too much time here. So he's going to try to upset that rhythm. Well, he's so focused on that runner over at first base. And that one outside could have likely served as a pitch out as it was in the other batter's box, and the catcher could have hopped up quickly in the event of a steal, but nothing happening over at first base. So 2-1 the count. Hitters count all the way. Swung on and missed, all even at 2. Martin's going to decide to hold up over at first base as the catcher has trouble with this one. Bounces in front of him by about 6 feet. So we'll have a 2-1 count. Nobody out and a runner on first. Ball out of the stretch, collects, kicks and deals the 2-1. This one's low, 3-1 the count. Three and two the count, I'm sorry. This one is hit hard to the third baseman. It gets by him on the on his left-hand side. It's going to be a base hit, moving Martin over to second. Dribblebus doing himself a favor on the defensive side by knocking that runner over into scoring position. And so 2 runners on for the second time this game for the Minutemen. So that's going to bring up Hamilton now. Landon Hamilton at the plate, the center fielder. With a runner on first and second, showing bunt. Ball steps off with the first baseman charging hard on that bunt. So they're likely expecting the Minutemen to try and move both of these runners over into scoring position with the bunt as we get towards the bottom of this lineup. That one showing bunt again, but he pulls back. Ball outside, says the umpire. 1-0 the count. And Ball really has to just go after the batter here. He's spending a lot of focus on these runners, and sure, they're speedy, but you need pitches, you need outs. First baseman charging, showing bunt. He's about 10 feet from the batter, but that one's fouled back. All even at 1. So we may see Landon Hamilton show bunt again in this 1-1 count, but he's really got to be sure to lay it down perfectly. And the third baseman not charging on these plays, only the first baseman. The pitch from Ball, Hamilton showing bunt. This one hit right back to the pitcher. He checks third. He throws it over to first and gets him by a step to throw back over to third, and he's safe. So a sacrifice bunt will work as planned, and we'll have 2 runners in scoring position, bringing up Michael Togliatti. 1 out in the inning, and with the runner in scoring position, they get out of that situation where they're facing the infield fly rule. So the first pitch to Togliatti is low for a called ball. Ball out of the stretch. Checks over his shoulder for that runner, kicks and deals, 1-1 the count. So no runs scored in this ball game, but that could change very quickly as the top of this order is coming up. And a healthy swing from Michael Togg shows that he could potentially do some damage to the Clear Fork Colts. So 1-2 the count. Ball ahead in the count again. It's good to see that. The 1-2 is swung and hit softly to the third baseman. The throw directly to the plate is going to get him by about 2 steps. So a fantastic heads-up play to take it directly to home and prevent that run from scoring. Very heads-up, very smart. So we'll have runners on the corners with 2 outs, but that's going to bring up Zion Rhodes. So Rhodes, the second baseman, up to bat. Chandler ball, shakes one off. Runners on the corners, likely moving over to second on the pitch, but he's not. This one hit hard down the first base side. We'll see if it's fair or foul. Called foul by the umpire. That one hit very well, but just foul. So 0-1 the count. Zion Rhodes trying to do the first bit of damage. This Clear Fork team that has been in trouble a couple of times tonight, but able to prevent any of that damage done. So another pitch is in, runner not moving. So ball collects himself. Throws over to first base, not in time, able to get back with the dive, but likely didn't need it. So the pitch hits him. So Zion Rhodes will move over to first base. Bases loaded. This area is a bit squished as softball flew over from a field and hit a spectator in the head. She appears to be okay now, laughing about it a bit. But very understandably shaken up at first. This one's hit foul. So 2 strikes on him. One strike, I'm sorry. This is to Basilone. Pitch from ball is outside, 1-1. So Basilone, the number 2 hitter. Bases loaded. He's out in front of this one, just barely nicked behind him foul. 1-2 the count. So a long top half of the second inning. Trying to get out of it. Strike 3, and he's able to. Somehow manages to avoid any danger. No damage done. 0-0 going into bottom of 2. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for your baseball or softball fix? Well, you've come to the right place. Join me every Wednesday night during the regular season for the best plays, conference updates, schedules, and so much more on the Roundup with me, Big League.
The OH report coming to you live. We'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors, Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Casasa, Wendy's Restaurant, Bob and Bob Door Company, and Mohican Adventures. So the first pitch of this inning is hit foul. Scoreboard not in working order. This one also hit back foul. So this is Swank up to bat. Casey Swank. Casey is the left fielder. That one behind him. The scoreboard not in working order. So likely 1-2 the count. So the pitch from Dribelvis is outside a fastball. That ball takes the catcher with him. So 2-2. The 2-2 to Swank. Oh, the 3-2 is in for a ball. Ball 4. So the first batter of the bottom half of the second inning will be walked. It's going to bring up Garrett Hotz. The third baseman, ironically, plays that hot corner as Swank takes his lead. Dribelbus checks the runner, showing bunt at the plate, but that one fouled far back onto the tennis court behind us. So 0-1 the count. Both teams getting into considerable danger, but every time working themselves out of it and keeping a clean score sheet. Lead modest over at first. That one's outside, all even at 1. So Dribelvich checks the runner over his shoulder, kicks and deals. This one is hit hard to the right center gap. This one is out of here for a home run. Hit to the right center field fence and clears it by 5 feet. It was deflected by a fan sitting in the back of a pickup truck. And so Clear Fork, as he crosses, is going to lead this one 2-0 with that massive hit from Garrett Hotz. And Dribelbus having a talk with his catcher. Just got to take a breath here. And on pitches like that, you just have to tip your hat to the hitter. You did a great job of staying with it, putting it over the fence. But you've got to recollect, try and get those runs back on offense. You've had several opportunities to do so. You just got to shake that home run off. So Nate Lind, the right fielder, is up to bat. Shows bunt, but pulls back for a called strike from the umpire. 0-1 the count. So the 0-1 to Dreibelbus, or from Dreibelbus, is in for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch is hit. Second baseman moving to his left, flips it over to the first baseman, gets him by 2.5 steps. We'll take that one around the horn. Aiden Perry up to bat. Aiden Perry, the second baseman. You can hear his walk-up music now. So they look to extend this lead even further in the bottom of the second. That one, a called strike in there. So 1 out. 0-1 count. That one hit right to us. All of us flinched. It's like one of those memes your little brother sends you where you're watching a video and you're all dialed in, the ball comes flying at you. That's what we just experienced. So Dreibelbus after that foul ball. That one in for the 3rd strike. Mason Sansom up to bat with 2 outs. So Sansom, the 9-hitter, that'll bring up the top of the order after him. Dreibelbus doing a good job of calming down and getting that next hitter. That first pitch in for a called ball off the plate. Discussion, time called. The scoreboard is in working order again. We're very thankful for that. And that pitch inside on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. The 1-1 is hit hard to the second baseman, but he boots it behind him, so that'll allow Mason Sansom to move over to first base on that air E4. So Jay Jackson, top of the lineup now for the Clear Fork Colts. They've dealt first blood in this game with that home run. Now with the runner on first, they look to extend it even further, but 2 outs are looming. That one swung on hard and missed by Jackson. 0-1 the count. Try to get every bit of that ball. Dreibelbus out of the stretch, checks the runner. The 0-1, kicks and deals, runner on the move. That one hit to the third baseman on a hop. He has trouble with it. He throws it over to first base. And the umpire in the field says he was able to make it in time, so that will likely be a base hit. A close play over at first base. We've got some Weird Al Yankovic walk-up music. An ode to the Amish, if you will. And that first pitch swung on and missed. Dreibelbus pitching to Dawson Staley. That pitch is low between the runner's legs. or the catcher's leg, so both runners will move into scoring position on that passed ball. We're all even at 1. 2 outs, and you're in the heart of the dangerous part of this lineup. Drivelbus's pitch is hit to the first base side. That's going to be fair by a foot. And so one runner is going to end up scoring. The throw into the infield, 2 runs are going to end up scoring. So that's a 2 RBI base hit from Dawson Staley as the Colts extend their lead 4-0. So Caden Riddle up to bat, the 3-hitter. Runner on first. 2 outs. That one thrown high for a ball. And still hope for the Minutemen. We've seen them in this last inning put a few runners on. They've been hitting the ball, getting on base any way that they can. Hope is not lost yet. The second pitch is fouled into the catcher's glove for a strike. So Drivelbus checks the runner, kicks and deals. This one hit to the first base dugout. Another one close to it. One and 2 the count. And a called third strike from Drivelbus to get themselves out of this inning, but damage done. The Colts leading this one 4-0 over the Minutemen. Bryce Coder with the OH report coming back to you live. Clear Fork Colts able to establish a 4-0 lead. First on that home run and then a 2 RBI single in the bottom half of that second inning. But all hope is not lost. Lexington Minutemen hitting the ball well and getting on base, getting those runners in scoring position, but unfortunately stranding 4 runners so far in this ball game. First pitch this top half of the inning is in for a ball. The second one is a called strike on the outside part of the plate, all even at 1. And Ball still on the mound. Able to get out of both innings with no earned runs. That one is low, a check swing. The umpire says no, he doesn't. The appeal down to the field umpire And the field umpire says no, he doesn't, so it's official. 2-1 the count. We've got Jackson Brown up to bat. Jackson Brown, the 3-hitter on this team. Had a single, the first hit of this ball game in the first inning. 3-1 the count. This one is hit back. So this is the 4th full count that we've seen tonight from Chandler Ball. Four strikeouts so far in this game. The full count pitch to Jackson is hit high and softly to the second base side. Second baseman under it makes a routine snag about 15 feet into the outfield for the first out of this inning. So Braden Moomaw striding into the plate. Ball out of the windup. The first pitch is high and outside. 0-1 the count. 1-0 the count, I apologize. 1-0 is hit behind towards the softball field. So 1-1 the count. All even at 1. A called strike, an off-speed pitch on the bottom part of the plate. So 1-2 the count. We've seen a lot of these counts from Ball. We'll see if he's able to convert this one. A called third strike for the second out of this inning. The 5th strikeout of the night for Chandler Ball on the mound. It's going to bring up Nickel. That one on the low outside part of the plate for a called strike from the umpire. Ball out of the windup, kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch low and inside, has to scoot out of the way of it a bit. We are beginning to transfer from daylight to these field lights. That one low. Catcher having trouble with that one, so 2-1 is the count. With 2 outs, Ball just looking to get himself out of this inning and back onto the offensive side. This one is 3 feet in front of the plate on a breaking pitch. Likely struggled with the grip of that one, so 3-1 the count. And a lot of 2-out rallies we've already seen from the Minutemen. Ball 4. We all missed that one trying to avoid a softball flying onto the field. So a runner on first, 2 outs. Not an unfamiliar position from what we've seen tonight so far. Runners on base. So this is going to bring up Martin, Markale Martin. He's able to grab himself a walk his last time up at bat. That one fouled back. So 0-1 the count. Nichols over at first. No sign of movement on that first pitch, but we'll see what the second pitch has to hold. So ball out of the stretch, sets, kicks and deals the 0-1. 0-2 now. So ball just needs himself one more strike to retain that clean score sheet for himself. Martin trying to not allow that to happen. The 0-2 is low and in the dirt. Runner stays put. Catcher does a good job of keeping that one in front of him. Likely a waste pitch that we just saw, trying to get the hitter to chase. The 1-2 is in the dirt again. This time lands about 1.5 feet in front of the plate. So a quick time from the catcher to discuss with his pitcher their strategy here. All even at 2 outs, and a runner on first. Whole lot going on out here. We've got, it looks like people selling t-shirts. We've got pony rides, believe it or not. We've got concession stands, food truck. I was struck by how much of a community affair this really is. So ball steps off. He'll collect for this big 2-2 pitch. Looking for his, that one a ball, full count. Looking for his 6th strikeout of the game. Another full count. You've become all too familiar with this. So Chandler takes his time out of the stretch, sets. A pickoff move over to first, nothing doing. Runner able to get back over to first before the ball even left his hand. So a big pitch here. This would be a tough one to lose for Ball if he did walk him. And he gets him looking for strike 3 of this inning, the 6th strikeout for Chandler Ball of this game. Colts leading this one 4-0 over the Minutemen. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler. Tyler. Our breakfast.
Oh. If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Bryce Coder with the OH Report. Coming back to you live, getting a quick look at this warm-up. Dribble is still at the plate. They're still at the mound. So we'll have Chandler Ball, the pitcher, coming up to bat. A lot of pitches, but able to minimize as much damage as he could. Some base hits given up and a few walks, but 0 earned runs. So Drybulbus pitches to Ball, pitcher versus pitcher. This one hit hard on the ground of the second baseman, who runs up to it, flips over to first, and gets the runner by 3 steps. So Casey Swank coming up to bat. 1 pitch, 1 out. So after that one pitch out, Dreibelbus will be back up on the mound out of the windup. This one hit high and hard, but foul towards the batting cage. Casey Swank up to bat. So the 0-1 is hit softly into fair territory, but hits the batter foul. So 0-1 with 2 outs. 1 out, I'm sorry, 0-2. This one hit back foul of another 0-2 pitch. And Dreibelbus with the 0-2 pitch. That one skips in the dirt and is behind the hitter. Catcher obviously having trouble with that one. So 1-2 the count, 1 out. Dreibelbus's 1-2 pitch to Swank. Again, hit foul. Dreibelbus, aside from a couple of base hits and that home run, pitching a very good game so far. That one low and in for a strike, 3. The second out of this inning. A great pitch by Dreibelbus. He's battling back in this inning after giving up 4. He had a quick 1 pitch out and then that strikeout. That's bringing up Garrett Hotz. Low and inside for a ball. Hotz out of the windup. The 1-0 pitch with 2 outs, nobody on. Is a called ball, 2-0 the count. So likely a fastball for a strike coming here. We'll see what the hitter can do with it. Exactly that, a fastball fouled off behind. 2-1 with that foul ball. And that one, a ball, 3-1 to Hotz. Dreibelbus, the 3-1, trying to get a strike here so he can work himself out of this inning, but not meant to be. Hotz will move over to first base on that walk. That's a tough one to lose. It's going to bring up Nate Lind. So 2 outs, a runner on first. Colts looking to extend this lead from 4 to 5, potentially 6. This one hit high and foul towards the first base side. It hit something over there. It is tight between these fields. Maybe 40, 50 feet between them. So 0-1 after that foul ball. Dreibelbus checks the runner over at first. The throw is fouled back again. So 0-2. Count that Dribblebus was likely looking for. Can go in any direction. The definition of unpredictability. The 0-2 with 2 outs. Runner on the move. That one hit to the shortstop. Shortstop trying to cover the bag, but the hit is away from him. The throw over to third is in time. Gets the runner. So the runner trying to advance all the way from first base to third after the ball hit into center field gets him on the tag for the 3rd out of this inning. So no damage done. You're watching high school baseball live and free on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for your baseball or softball fix? Well, you've come to the right place. Join me every Wednesday night during the regular season for the best plays, conference updates, schedules, and so much more on the Roundup with me, Big League.
Bryce Coder with the OH Report. Top of 4 as Clear Fork is leading this one over the Minutemen 4-0. Home turf here in Bellville, Ohio for Clear Fork. But the Minutemen nearby. We hear that energy. It's Dribblebus. First up to bat, pitcher versus pitcher. Behind in this one, 4-0. A first pitch strike on the bottom part of the zone. So Chandler's 0-1 is a big looping pitch in for a strike. Hanging breaking ball. The 0-2 is low, and we've seen a lot of these 0-2 pitches miss low, trying to paint those corners. 1-2 the count. Dribblebus trying to do himself a favor on the mound, get something going so he can avoid the loss. Dribblebus hits this one weakly, but he hits himself in the ankle with the bat. He's not able to make it more than a few feet out of the batter's box. The third baseman throws it over to first for the out. And Dribblebus is really hurting. He's their pitcher too. And so he is hobbling around. We hope that he's okay. That's a tough one. 1 out in this inning. The Lexington coaches trying to make the case that it was the ball that hit Dribblebus, which would have made it a foul ball rather than the bat, but the umpires disagreed. Or rather, the home plate umpire said that he did not see it. So Chandler ball, fresh count. First pitch, a breaking pitch in. This is to the next pitch. is hit hard to center field in the air. Center fielder making his way in, steps in by about 2 feet and to his left to make a easy catch in center field for the second out of this inning. That was Landon Hamilton, so this is going to bring up Michael Tagliotti. That ball hit well, but couldn't find a gap. And Togs, as they affectionately call him, looks at the first pitch for a strike. 2 outs in this inning. Ball only seems to be improving in efficiency, but does have a high pitch count so far. That one low, in for a ball. All even at 1. That one, a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-2 the count now. 2 outs, so a payoff pitch from Ball. We've seen on these payoff pitches, he often throws them low a fastball. We'll see if he goes with that again or that breaking pitch. Tagliotti not happy with the time that Chandler Bell is taking, so he calls time and is going to reset in the box. Tension's only rising. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. It's a drop third strike as Tagliotti is going to make his way over to first, and the throw is dropped. The umpire says the throw is dropped and not in time when he collects it, so Tagliotti is going to reach on the drop third strike. And so the strikeout will still count for Ball, but the runner will move over to first on the drop third strike. So Tagliotti over at first. He was speedy on that play. We'll see if he's moving on this one. 2 outs. It's going to bring up the top of the order. Zion Rhodes, runners on the move on that pass ball. So we'll have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So the catcher is going to call time and talk it over with his pitcher, likely telling him just to take a breath and calm down. And it seems like we have seen this several times where Ball will establish himself well in the inning, but once a runner gets on, he begins to panic and hits start to come. So 1-0 the count to Zion Rhodes, who was hit by the pitch in the second inning. So that one's behind the catcher. Runner's going to move all the way over to third. 2 pitches, 2 pass balls. For the first time in a few innings, the Minutemen threatening to do some damage to the Colts. That one is also low and in the dirt. 3-0 the count. It's almost favorable as a left-handed pitcher when you have a runner on third because you're not staring them down. But instead, Ball decides to pitch out of the windup rather than the stretch. The pitch out of the windup is a breaking pitch for ball 4, high in the zone. So we'll have runners on the corners. So a good pitch. And I wonder after switching to the windup if he feels much more comfortable in the windup as opposed to the stretch. And that's why we're beginning to see some of those struggles. So the runner takes his lead over at first base. Nobody covering, first baseman covering over at first. Nobody covering over at third. Ball out of the stretch. Checks the runner, kicks and deals. Outside, but not by the catcher this time. So 1-0 the count. This is Chance Basilone up to bat. Shows bunt. That one's behind the catcher. Runner on third is on his way. He's in safely. No tag shown. So the Minutemen getting their first run of this ball game in the top of the fourth and a runner over at second base. And so this is exactly the rally that the Minutemen wanted and needed to get back into this ball game. 2-0 3-0 now the count. And with 2 outs and a runner on second base, they're taking a breath, having a laugh with one another. Ball trying to shake off the weight of the circumstance that they're in. So a runner on third. The pitch is in for a called strike. So ball still out of the stretch. Sets. Checks the runner. Second baseman relieving the duties. Hit to the shortstop. That one hit hard. Shortstop collects it, slips a bit, throws it over to first base for the 3rd out of this inning. So Minutemen able to get 1 to claw back into this one. But the Clear Fork Colts are leading this one 4-1 going into bottom of 4. Bryce Coder with the OH report coming back to you live. Bottom of 4. Clear Fork Colts leading this one over the Minutemen. We'd like to thank our sponsors, as always, for allowing us to be live and free for our fans. Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Wendy's restaurant. From our combos to our value menu, we're serving up fresh, never frozen beef, oven-baked bacon, hot and crispy fries, the list goes on. Bob and Bob Door Company, entry doors, storm doors, garage doors, and openers. Bob and Bob Doors has been providing fast and friendly, reliable service for over 51 years. And Mohican Adventures. Enjoy the best there is in Ohio family vacation at Mohican Adventures. We offer river trips, an aerial adventure park, mini golf, go-karts, as well as a full-service campground and cabin rentals. So bottom of 4. This is going to bring up Perry. The first pitch is in for a ball. Dreibel still on the mound. He had an effective inning last inning. This one hit down the first base side, foul by about 4 feet. First baseman trying to make the grab, not able to. So 1-1 the count, no outs, nobody on. So Dreibel out of the windup, the 1-1 pitch. That one a bit behind on it, but hits it onto the softball field. Luckily, they're done playing for the night. We witnessed an 11-0 victory for the home team over on the softball field. Dreibel is 1-1. Is swung on. He's late. A drop third strike thrown over to first. Gets him by about 4 steps. So 1 out. That's going to bring up Mason Sansom. So Mason Sansom, the 9-hitter. So we will see top part of this order in this inning. That first pitch in high for a ball. So the next pitch is high for ball 2. 1 out in the inning. The 0-1 is inside. Batter has to move out of the way of that one to avoid contact. 1-1 the count. So the 1-1 low, I apologize, a 3-1 for a walk. Jay Jackson up to bat. He had a single in the second inning, later came around to score. So Jay Jackson up to bat, the one hitter out in front of this one, a bit hit very high towards the softball field. I believe that one avoided contact with anyone. But all the same, we'll have the first strike to Jackson. So Dribblebus checks the runner over at first. Runner's on the move. The pitch is a called strike. The throw down is behind the runner at second base. So he will be safe over at second on the stolen base. Likely would have been a very close play. Likely would have gotten the runner, in fact, if he would have been able to catch it. But instead, he will move over to second on the called strike. Dribblebus checking with his middle infielders, discussing with the catcher what their intentions are on these next few pitches. The 0-1 count, both middle infielders sharing the duties of covering over at second. The 0-1 pitch is low and past the catcher, so the runner's going to move all the way over to third as there's no throw. So 1-1 the count, but now a runner on third. The Clear Fork Colts threatening to get back this run that they lost in the top half of this inning. With 1 out, they've got 2 batters to work through to do so. The first pitch, is fouled off, and it hit the catcher underneath, likely in the thigh. But we know I know at the catcher position, unfortunately, that sometimes those foul balls can get underneath the cup, and I think with him jumping, that's likely what happened. Unfortunately, that's a fact of life for a catcher. You get hit everywhere where you don't have padding. So 1-2. Dribblebus trying to get the second out of the inning with the runner on third and avoid any further damage. They had that offensive rally going. They can't afford to lose this momentum. And strike 3 will get the second out of this inning. A good breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, swung at and missed from Jay Jackson. But this is going to bring up Dawson Staley. Dawson Staley had that huge 2 RBI base hit. I'd be a fool not to believe that the music doesn't have something to do with it. And hit high to the second baseman. He's running in on it, tracks it well, able to make the routine catch for the third out of the inning, so no damage done. The Colts leading this one 4-1 over the Lexington Minutemen. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Taking my time, on my mind, baby.
Tyler.
Ah.
Our breakfast.
Oh.
If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Bryce Coder with the OH report coming back to you live. Bellville, Ohio, a night game, one of the few that we're able to cover. This is going to bring up Jackson Brown, first up to bat for the Minutemen at the top of 5. Minutemen really need to get something going here. Running out of chances. The first pitch is in for a strike. And the 0-1 is hit hard to the left center gap. That one trailing. This is going to be extra bases. Left fielder finally able to get to it. Skips the cutoff man, but a good throw into the infield holds the runner over at second base. That ball hit on a frozen rope. So we will have a runner over at first base. So momentum already striding in their favor for the Minutemen in the top half of this 5th inning. This is going to bring up Braden Murmaw. So a runner on second, checks the runner. The pitch is low for a called ball. So we'll set out of the stretch, checks the runner. That pitch high and behind the catcher, so the runner will move all the way over to third base. And we have a pitching change for the Colts. Luke Drockton on the mound now, looking to finish the job that Ball started. Did a great job of holding the Minutemen to only 1, but consequently had a very high pitch count. That one low again. We saw a lot of 3-2 counts. He was able to work his way out of them, but all the same, that is taxing on a young pitcher's arm. 3-0 the count. We'll see if he holds up with a runner on third, and he doesn't. He hits it to the gap in between shortstop and third. Shortstop running to his right, slips on that grass. The runner will score from third. So the Minutemen working their way back into this one, 4-2 now in the top of the 5th. This is going to bring up Nickel. The first pitch to Nickel is right down the pipe for strike one. With nobody out, they have plenty of opportunities to do the damage they need to do getting into this game. The tying run is already at the plate. The pitch is hit hard to the center fielder. Center fielder moving to his right and back, makes the routine play. The fly out to the center fielder holds up the runner at first. Not looking to tag. Would have been a difficult run over to second base. And so the first out of this inning, already a run scored. Having a talk with Drockton. So out of the stretch. We have time, says the field umpire. I'm not sure why. But we have Donovan Legrand up to bat, pinch hitting for Nickel. A called strike. Nickel struck out in the first, had a base on balls in the third. That one in the dirt for a ball. No, Legrand is in for Martin. That's Nickel over at first, the designated hitter. So 1-2 the count. 2 outs, damage already done, but looking to limit it as much as they can. Drockton checks the runner out of the stretch, kicks and deals the 1-2, a breaking pitch, called a ball outside. So all even at 2. Still a pitcher's count. So you can go any direction here, but I'm sure we'll see a fastball. A fastball low and in the dirt. 3-2 the count, all full. With a runner on first, this would be a tough one to lose as it puts a runner in scoring position on this rallying Minutemen team. This one hit softly to the third baseman, charging it hard, flips it over to second base for the lead out. Gets it, no throw over to first, so that'll be a fielder's choice. So good job of playing it heads up and getting it over to second base. I personally didn't think they were going to get that out, but they did. And so Drybulbus is back into the game. We're happy to see that. After he got hit with that bat in the ankle, that one a called strike, a looping breaking ball in the top part of the plate. So 0-1 the count. Minutemen not happy about that call. So the pitch is swung on and missed. That ball in the dirt, way out in front for strike 2 of this at-bat. So this would be big out for Drockton if he could limit the damage to 1, only allow the Minutemen one more offensive opportunity. The 0-2 is hit, reaching far over to the third baseman, thrown over to first. Gets him by several steps, so the third out of this inning. Lexington able to pick up a run, but Clearfork Colts leading this one 4-2 going into the bottom of 5.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Taking my time, on my mind, baby.
Tyler.
Ah.
Our breakfast.
Oh. If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Bryce Coder with the OH report coming to you live for bottom of 5. Dribblebus still on the mound. He's only given up a few hits, but that big home run has been the story of this game to give the Colts the initial lead. Then they went on to extend it in that same inning with a 2 RBI base hit. So 6 strikeouts so far for Dribblebus. And he's rearing back and throwing harder than we've seen this game. He could be getting even stronger. We've seen with some of these dominant high school pitchers. So it's going to bring up Caden Riddle. Riddle reached on balls and later struck out. So Dribblebus will get set out of the windup. The Colts leading this one 4-2 in the bottom of 5. That pitch high for a ball. The 1-0 is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. That pitch is low for a ball. Bryce Coder with the OH report. 2-2 the count, nobody out. Colts leading this one 4-2 over the Minutemen. So Dribblebus will take his time, take a breath. They're looking for a quick inning so they can get back offensively. That one hit back foul. 2-2 still the count. Dribblebus with another payoff pitch. Middle infielders playing on the grass. Corners playing on the lines. That pitch is low and past the catcher. So a full count. No outs. Don't want to walk the batter here after going up in the count early. So the 3-2 is hit to the second baseman, moving to his left, throws it over to the first baseman, and it's by the first baseman, has trouble catching that one. So it's going to be an E3, allowing the runner or the hitter, Caden Riddle, to reach first base safely. That is especially not what they wanted. So Chandler Ball pitched the first 4 innings of this game. Dribblebus checks the runner over at first. Virtually no lead. That pitch is high and outside for a ball. So Drivelbus out of the stretch, checks the runner. Very intentional about setting this time. Inside for a ball. So 2-0 the count. The lead is small over at first. 3-0 the count as that one is low. So this would really hurt. Trying to make that comeback. We'll have a timeout from the Lexington bench. The coach making his way over to the mound. And after walking that first batter and immediately going down 3-0 in the count, Drivelbus, if he's going to stay in this game, needs to be intentional and very calm about how he proceeds here. You can see him taking that instruction from his coach. The whole infield in. Drivelbus is back. Field umpire having a quick chat with Drivelbus on the mound. Chandler ball at the plate. He grounded out in the first inning. Recorded another out in the third. And ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Chandler ball. So a runner on first and second. This is going to bring up Caden Swank. Swank struck out and walked earlier in the game. And so with nobody out, we will very likely see Garrett Holtz, who hit that monstrous home run in the second inning to give the Colts the lead, and they have never looked back. And the first pitch in for a strike from Drivelbus. So the lead's being taken, a bigger one over at first than at second. Nobody out, infield fly rule in effect. That one's high, all even at 1. So Drivelbus out of the stretch, sets, checks the runner, 1-1, kicks and deals, bunt showing, that one in the dirt. Both runners are going to be on the move, no throw being made. So runners already moving on the bunt, but the batter able to pull back. All the same, the pitch is in the dirt, which allows those runners to reach safely. So we have runners at second and third now. Infield fly rule no longer in effect. 2-1 the count. Fielders playing in, expecting that bunt again. 2-1, swung on and missed, all even at 2. And Garrett Holtz is looming large in that in the on-deck circle. 2-2, this one's hit to the first baseman. He has trouble with it, moving away from him, so one run is going to score. A play at the plate, but the throw isn't going to be on line, so he's going to be safe. 2 runs will score. The Colts are leading this one 6-2 on the 2 RBI base hit. So after Riddle reached on that error, and Chandler ball was walked, Swank's 2 RBI base hit will extend the lead for the Colts in the bottom of 5. The Minutemen are back where they started. The first pitch is high for a ball. So with nobody out, it only adds to the level of suspense. And this one hits the batter. He's okay, but all the same, he will move over to first base, and we will see a new pitcher officially. So the new pitcher that we will see is Gage Powell. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Sutton Bank, Wendy's Restaurants, Bob and Bob Door Company, Mohican Adventures. Sutton Bank, earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Wendy's Restaurant, from our combos to our value menu, we're serving up fresh, never frozen beef, oven baked bacon, hot and crispy fries, the list goes on. Bob and Bob Doors, entry doors, storm doors, garage doors, and openers. Bob and Bob Doors has been providing fast, friendly, and reliable service for over 51 years. Mohican Adventures, enjoy the best there is in Ohio family vacationing at Mohican Adventures. They offer river trips, an aerial adventure park, mini golf, go-karts, as well as a full-service campground and cabin rentals. So getting a look at Powell now. Showing some good velocity. Powell, a sophomore on this squad. And this is going to bring up Nate Lind, the first batter, to Gage Powell. So the runners on first and second will belong to Dreibelbus. The batter at the plate belonging to Powell. Time called. So a fresh count to Nate Lind. That one outside for a ball, a good fastball, but off the plate. So in the bottom of 5, Minutemen looking to get out of this inning quickly. They're running out of chances. This one hit high to the second baseman. Infield fly called. So an immediate out, and the runner's not advancing. So 1 out in this inning on the infield fly. The infield fly rule is still in effect. And that rule is, in fact, to protect the hitting team, as otherwise the infield could drop the ball and flip an easy double play. So that one is in for a strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. So with 1 out, they're looking for that double play at any base. Middle infielder is definitely playing at infield, or double play depth. That one hit foul in between his legs off to the third base side. So the pitch from Powell is outside, another ball, 2-1. This is Luke Drockton up to bat. Runners on the move. This one hit to the second baseman. It's very easily going to be a double play for the Minutemen. Both runners in motion, so the play got him on the tag out. Clear Fork leading this one 6-2 over the Lexington Minutemen.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Taking my time, on my mind, baby.
Tyler.
Ah.
My breakfast.
Oh. If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Cool. Bryce Coder with the OH report. Top of 6 now. Clear Fork Colts leading this one 6-2 over the Lexington Minutemen. Landon Hamilton going to be up to bat first for the Minutemen. 8-9-1 in this order. So the Minutemen with 2 more chances to at least equalize this game. 2 more half innings to do their damage and either tie or win this game. So Drockton on the mound, pitching to Hamilton. So Drockton sets, digs in, out of the windup, kicks and deals. The first pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 the count. This game surpassing the 2-hour mark. 1-0, hit high off to the first base side and foul out of play. Hits the shelter house. So all even at 1. So Drockton's 1-1. Curveball on the inside part of the play called for a ball. 2-1 the count. So Drockton's 2-1. It's high and outside, 3-1 the count now. So this is exactly the opportunity the Minutemen were looking for. Chance to get someone on base early on in this inning like we saw in the last inning where they were able to put up a run. So the 3-1 is swung on and missed. 3-2 the count. So all even the count now. No outs, nobody on. Top of 6. This one is hit. He's a bit behind it. Hit foul out of play. Hits the shelter house again. So we'll have another full count. So the ball coming back into the infield. So Hamilton extending this AB. Foul ball's thrown into the umpire. This one swung on and missed for strike 3 for the first out of the top half of this inning. That's going to bring up Toggs. Michael Togliatti. We'll have a pitcher's meeting. Drockton, he's been throwing well, but has been struggling with command early on in these counts. So likely just having a pep talk with him, getting him to buckle down and play sharp. We're getting ready to play baseball. Togliatti striding in and Drockton digging in. First pitch is in for a strike, high in the zone. He ducked at that one. The umpire says that did not shrink the strike zone. So 0-1. And the Colts are really taking their time between pitches. So the 0-1 pitch is in for a strike. 0-2 the count with one out. This is not the inning they were hoping for. The 0-2 is in. He's behind it, hit softly to the first baseman in the air, takes 2 steps forward and is able to get under it and make the catch for the second out of the inning. This is going to bring up the top of the order, Zion Rhodes. So the first pitch to Rhodes with 2 outs is in the dirt. And between the catcher's legs, but nobody on. So Drockton's pitch to Rhodes is in for a strike. With 2 outs, the Minutemen are running low on chances. Drockton's going to step off. And the 0-1 low for a called ball. So the 2-0 is hit softly. The second baseman runs forward and moves to his left, makes a quick play over to first base, gets a third out of the inning by a step. Clear Fork leading this one over Lexington Minutemen 6-2. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for your baseball or softball fix? Well, you've come to the right place. Join me every Wednesday night during the regular season for the best plays, conference updates, schedules, and so much more on the Roundup with me, Big League.
Bottom of 6 here in Bellville, Ohio. This is Bryce Coder with the OH Report, bringing you high school baseball action live and free. Colts leading this one 6-2 over the Lexington Minutemen, going into bottom of 6. Got Powell, Gage Powell on the mound. We have Mason Sansom up to bat. First pitch in for a strike to Sansom. So Sansom setting in. The pitch is hit hard to the right fielder on a frozen rope. Right fielder able to move 2 steps to his right and catch that one. Good out for the first out, the bottom half of the 6th inning. This is going to bring up Jay Jackson, top of the order for the Colts. 1 out, that one low and outside for a called ball. So Powell sets, kicks, and deals. That one swung on hard, hit on the handle, fouled out of play. So 1-1 the count to Jackson. Gage Powell out of the stretch, but nobody on. Kicks and deals. That one is low for a ball. 2-1 the count now. So another pitch out of the stretch, the 2-1. In the other batter's box, catcher able to stay with that one. So 3-1 the count. Jackson with that single earlier in the 2nd inning. That one is outside, ball 4. So Jay Jackson will walk. A runner on first base and only 1 out. Dawson Staley striding up. The Amish Paradise playing. Hit that 2 RBI single earlier in the game, struck out and grounded out earlier. This one a bunt directly back to the pitcher, but he has trouble keeping with this one. He's not going to throw it. He's just going to eat it. So what will likely be ruled as an E1. We'll move the runner over to second base. We'll have runners on first and second now with only 1 out. So we'll have a runner on first and second. So checks the runner. Runner's on the move. The pitch is a called ball. The throw down is behind the third baseman. So the runner is going to advance all the way from third home. No slide, a throw down to third, and he's also going to be safe. So that's going to extend this lead 7-2, and a runner on third with 1 out. After that play, I'm sure the Minutemen would have preferred that it would have hit him. So this is going to bring up Caden Riddle. Riddle with a walk, a strikeout, and reached on an error so far in this game. That pitch is in for strike 2. Out of the stretch, Powell kicks and deals. That one fouled on top. hit behind the catcher, so another 2-strike pitch we'll see. So Riddle setting again, taking his practice swings. Powell's going to step off and we'll reset. This park really starting to clear out as we progress closer and closer to 10 p.m. Much time being taken. So another step off. And so they're pausing this game because someone in the crowd has their backup lights on and it's distracting. So we will finally have the 1-2 pitch. With 1 out and a runner on third, the 1-2 almost hits him for another ball, 2-2. So the runner gets his lead over at third, the 2-2. He's out in front of this one. It's hit down the third base line. Right fielder trying to make a play on it, but not able to get to it in time, so that'll be a foul ball. So Powell will have yet another pitch in this at-bat. And the 2-2 to Riddle. Another foul ball. This time bounces off the plate and hits the batter. So Powell checks the runner. Nobody covering over at third. The 2-2 is hit out in front to the gap, so that will score a run. Ethan Riddle with the RBI base hit, a good piece of hitting to stay with that one, put it into shallow center field. So the Colts are leading this one 8-2 now. So we have a runner on first now, 1 out. We have Chandler Ball up to bat, pitched earlier in this game, recorded an out, grounded out, and then walked later on in that game. So the fresh count is inside for a ball. So the middle infielders playing at double play depth. Kicks and deals the 1-0. That one low, 2-0. It's 1 out, really trying to get that double play so they can get back on the offensive side of things. That one way out in front, hit foul towards the third base dugout. First strike of this at-bat, 2-1 the count. And we're stopping again for these lights. And we wait. Even longer as we approach the 3-hour mark of this ball game. So the 2-1 kicks and deals showing bunt, hit to the pitcher, this time able to field it cleanly, flips it over to first for the second out of the inning. All the same, the runner will move over to second base on the sacrifice bunt. So 2 outs in this inning. We'll have a substitution. So we'll reset. Pitcher out of the stretch. New count. Immediately drills the batter. So we'll have a runner on first and second as things are beginning to get out of hand. So after that hit by pitch, that's going to bring up Garrett Holtz. He was also hit by a pitch earlier in this game. Also hit that home run to give the Colts the initial lead. Looks at that first pitch for a strike. And the 0-1 is hit foul, just barely over the fence and onto the softball field. So 0-2 the count. But 0-2 was also the count when Holtz hit that home run earlier in the second. So 2 outs, 0-2, big hitter at the plate. Powell trying to get this big strikeout. Runners taking their lead. The 0-2 is outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. And Riddle is extending that lead much further than we've seen earlier in the night. Kicks and deals a 1-2 is high above the letters. 2-2 the count. So 2-2 still in the pitcher's favor, but not by much. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Already picked up 2 in this inning. The 1-2 pitch is hit right back to the pitcher. Makes an unbelievable no-look grab and throws it over to first base. What a play by Gage Powell to get them out of this inning. Clear Fork leading this one 8-2 over the Minutemen. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report. Bryce Coder with the OH Report. Top of 7. Last opportunity for the Lexington Minutemen to claw their way back into this one, but they're going to need a big rally as they gave up 2 in this past half inning to the Clear Fork Colts. Colts leading this one 8-2. Looking themselves to get out of this inning and out of this ball game with 3 outs. We're facing 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. Chance Basilone up to bat. Luke Drockton on the mound, out of the windup, kicks and deals. The first pitch is in for a strike. So the 0-1 from Drockton. And that was a running bunt. It looked like a slap bunt that we'd likely see on the softball field. Ran all the way out of the batter's box to reach for that one, but no luck. So 0-2 the count. So this one hit behind foul. So 0-2 the count. Drockton with the payoff pitch, looking to get the first out. So the 0-2 is swung on and hit softly to the shortstop, who runs up, and it takes a horrible bounce over the shortstop's head. So likely not credited with the error, as that took a terrible bounce over at short. But the runner will reach first all the same. So Basilone leading things off for the Minutemen. Jackson Brown up to bat. He's 2 for 3 on the day, so if there's anybody that could get something going for them right now, it would be him and Braden Mumaw. So the pickoff move over to first base, not in time. Runner able to get down. First baseman holding the runner on as he stands up to make sure he doesn't step off, looking for the tag. So Drockton out of the stretch. That one in for a ball. So pitch is low for a strike. So Drockton's pitch is a breaking ball hit right to the first baseman, who fields it and makes a throw over to first base. So they will get the out over at first, but not the runner over at second base for the double play. And that was a close play. The Minutemen are trying to say that Riddle did not touch first base. And to be quite honest with you, when I saw it, I didn't think he did either. But all the same, the field umpire calls the out over at first. The runner will stay safe at second. It looked like he had taken 2 steps around the bag, and then on the throw ended up touching the bag. So that one a called strike. So with a runner on second base, Drockton trying to avoid any further damage. And that one hit to the shortstop gap. He slides for it, but it boots off of his leg. Runner will hold up at third. So runners on the corners now. This is going to bring up Braden Mumaw, who had that RBI base hit earlier in the 5th inning. And boy, do they need one right now. So Drockton out of the stretch, sets, kicks and deals, hit to the pitcher in the infield softly over to the third baseman, flips it over to first for the first out. So 2 outs as they get the runner, but the runner from third will come in to score. So Lexington picking up a run here, 8-3. And 2 outs looming. So the Minutemen are down to their final out of this ball game. So a pickoff move over to first, nothing doing, able to get back with a dive. So Drockton out of the stretch, kicks and deals. That's a called strike.
Get that marinara out, kid. Gotta go golfing out there. Let's go.
So Drockton, the 0-1. That one's low. 1-1 the count. So the 1-1 is inside the left-handed hitter. So a runner over at first now, 2-1 the count. The pitch is swung on, fouled off. 2-2 the count. So 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs, a runner on first. The Minutemen down to their final strike of this ball game. And it's hit weakly to the second base side. He scoops it, throws it over to first, and gets the 3rd out of this ball game. So the Clear Fork Colts are going to win this one over the Lexington Minutemen 8-3 in 7 innings. A great showing, a great piece of hitting by both sides, but the home run eventually putting the Colts over the top. Coming up next, the MVP interview and the post-game show. You're watching high school baseball live and free with the OH Report.
Get on the right track with me, Hayden Gray, as I pass you the baton for local track and field meet results, impact teams, athlete profiles, and more every Thursday this spring.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler. Tyler. Our breakfast.
Oh. If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for the best defensive plays on the baseball field and the softball diamond? Well, join me, Big League Berardi, for Diamond Cuts exclusively on the Roundup.
coming to you with the Wendy's MVP player of the game, Garrett Holtz. Garrett batted 1 for 2 with 2 walks and had a monstrous home run in the second inning to put the Colts up by 2 for that initial lead. Garrett, welcome.
Thank you.
Garrett, that pitch, I mean, what was it about it? You were behind in the count. Normally, sometimes we see in batters, they try to tighten up and just look for base hits, but what was it about that pitch that you wanted so bad and put it over?
You know, I actually missed the bunt in my first pitch of the AB, so I didn't really like that, and then I was just thinking sit on a fastball and drive it, and I got the pitch, so I sat back on it and I drove it.
Yeah, and boy, did you drive it. Yeah, I mean, over that right center wall. Yeah. We actually saw a fan deflect it with their hand sitting out there. So moving to 16-3 now, a magical season so far. What's been working for you guys so much that's made you guys so successful?
We've really just been having fun when we're playing. We trust each other. We got each other's backs. We're just playing loose, and that's really all just how we get it done.
Definitely, definitely. Any shout-outs tonight?
I'd like to shout out all my teammates, my coaches, and my parents.
Awesome. Garrett Holtz, Wendy's MVP player of the game. Thank you so much, and congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Looking for your baseball or softball fix? Well, you've come to the right place. Join me every Wednesday night during the regular season for the best plays, conference updates, schedules, and so much more on the Roundup with me, Big League.
With the OH Report coming back to you for the Bob and Bob Door Company post-game show. Clear Fork Colts picking up this one over Lexington Minutemen 8-3 here in Bellville, Ohio. A lot of great hitting, a lot of great pitching, but Garrett Holtz with that massive home run in the second inning, our Wendy's MVP player of the game. And from there, the Clear Fork Colts just never looked back. Lexington's going to move to 6-9 on the season, 2-5 in the OCC. The Minutemen are going to play West Holmes. They're 6-7 on 5-8 at West Holmes. Clear Fork's going to move to 16-3 in overall, and 10-2 in the MOAC. Colts next game, they're going to play Madison on Monday at home. This is Bryce Coder with the OH Report here with Adam Thompson and intern Madeline. Thank you all very much, and we'll catch you next time.